Lost and never found. Killed and never honored. A part of a mystery never solved. Terrence Hines lays out all the facts of the unsolved mystery in his article, The Mary Celeste, A Very Plausible Explanation. November 7, 1872. Captain Benjamin Briggs loads the Mary Celeste with his wife, daughter, and crew members. The ship is set sail from New York to Europe across the Atlantic Ocean. With a cargo load full of alcohol cases, the Mary Celeste takes off. December 4, 1872, the Mary Celeste is found 500 miles off the coast of Spain by a neighboring ship, the Di Gracia, which is put into detail by Darren Marlar in his documentary, What Happened to the Mary Celeste. The passengers' possessions, their last dinner, and the Mary Celeste's hatches all remain on the boat. This seems typical, right? One problem. The entirety of the crew has vanished. Questions arise, searches begin, prize money was offered. Immediately the crew of the Di Gracia board the Mary Celeste, report the case to Britain, and are accused of the disappearance of the crew. Suspicions of the Di Gracia arise and they are put on trial, ultimately resulting in being proved innocent and receiving less prize money than deserved. Ruling out the Di Gracia crew, theories of what happened to the Mary Celeste came about, ranging from credible ones to ridiculous ones to fictional stories written only for book purposes. Beginning with the far-fetched reasons are the typical suspense of the Bermuda Triangle and an alien abduction. But personally, I don't believe there is even a possibility of these being the cause of the disappearance. Moving on from the crazies, we have the hoaxes. Arthur Conan, the author of Sherlock Holmes, shares his opinion of the Mary Celeste in 1883. He believes the crew was murdered and the only person to survive was a doctor who lived to share his experience. However, Conan's theory has been suspected to be intended for a fictional story rather than a true opinion of what happened to the Mary Celeste. Therefore, I don't agree with his opinion either. Finally, there are the probable cases, the ones backed up with loads of research, dedication, and reliable information. The Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal gathers opinions of theorists around the world and put them together in the ghost ship Mary Celeste. Both Brian Hicks and Peter Ansoff of Virginia believe there was a leak in the alcohol casks of the ship concerning the crew and causing them to evacuate. Hicks thinks, however, that the passengers only intended to leave temporarily on lifeboats. He wants to prove that the crew members were attached to the ship with a rope, but due to bad weather conditions and boat incidents, it broke, leaving Captain Briggs, his family, and his assistants to float to their death. Everett Blyler of New York also has his own sense about what happened, or what was intended to happen to the crew. Blyler is suspicious about the items remaining on the boat. The ship's papers and important documents were not left on the ship, leading Blyler to suspect that Captain Briggs left the ship with the papers on purpose. You'd think that losing one entire crew and never solving what happened to them would prevent a relatable incident from ever happening again. But history repeated itself when the Cause 2 was discovered sailing empty and well-equipped. The Times of London, England described the incident, which happened much more recently in 2007, and how it relates to the Mary Celeste in their article, The Mystery of the Mary Celeste Fact Box. Despite the Globe Mail Inc. of Toronto, Canada's discovery of wood pieces from the Mary Celeste, the mystery of this and the Cause 2 still remains unsolved. Out of the many tempting theories and made-up stories, I am personally going to agree with the theory of Brian Hicks, author of Ghost Ship. Hicks' explanation is the most reasonable, well-thought-out, and supported idea. Therefore, I do believe Captain Briggs led his crew members off of the ship due to the danger of inhaling alcohol fumes, and during their slight expedition, they faced weather complications and died. What do you believe happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste?